Dance in Indian culture is a mere source of entertainment or a divine science to connect your personal soul to universal. Namaste. I'm Acharya Pratishtha and I welcome you to Friday Facts with Acharya Pratishtha, an insight to Indian culture. We have received several requests, Acharya ji. What is the significance of dance being an important part of all Hindu festivals, and not just festivals, but all important days of life? We are going to look at the scientific aspect of it. That's true. Dance, whether it is classical dance or folk dance, it has always been considered as a spiritual practice. But before understanding why it is considered as a spiritual practice, we need to understand what is dance. Dance, which is known as nritya, we have a beautiful definition of nritya given by Bharat Muni, who wrote Natya Shastra in Treta Yuga. Nrit Jama Natya is equal to Nritya, which means Nrit plus Natya is equal to Nritya. A combination of Nrit means body movements, hand movements, only body movements. Nritya. Natya means Abhinay, expression, acting, expressing your emotions. Combination of body movement and your expression is known as Nritya, dance. So if you say that dance means only moving your body, that's not true. Or dance means just showing your expressions, that's not true. So the combination of I would love to elaborate it in a way, in these words, that full control over your body and complete control over your emotions and expressions is nritya. With this elaborative, with this definition that I've just now shared, meaning is very, very clear. Once you have complete control over your body, you know where your hand is going, you know where your eye is going, you know where your movement is going, and you have complete control over your expressions. You can smile, you can be sad, you can be surprised, you can be scared. You have complete control over your expressions, which means you have complete control over your emotions and your mind. Such a spiritual and such a divine and such a deep art. Now, let's go a little back. It was in Vedic Kal that treatments were done through dance with different movements. Different movements helps us in getting rid of our vices, and not just body movements, even your emotions, your expressions. You must be aware, all those who must have studied anatomy, they know that when you hold your emotions, when you suppress your emotions and you don't share your feelings, you don't express yourself, those suppressed emotions convert into diseases. Whether we talk about the secretions from pituitary gland, later on we suffer from diabetes. Same way, there are several examples. I will not go deep into this, but we need to understand that suppression of your emotions, suppression of your expressions leads us towards physical and mental ailments. That's the reason it is said you should share your feelings with others. But these days, when we are living with machines, we have become machines. We have no real friends to share our emotions with. Even in our relationships, whether it's with our parents or guru or spouse or children, we rarely share our feelings. We should rarely express what we feel. Suppression of these expressions, suppression of these emotions result into several diseases. But when we dance, we express, we express our emotions, and that helps us in staying healthy. Even in West nowadays, dance therapy is very, very popular. But again, we need to understand the depth and the importance of physical as well as emotional aspect of dance. Now, with time, many several things changed. If when we look at the history of dance in India, it started with temple traditions. That's called Mandir Parampara. At that time, there were no televisions, no mobile phones, and people used to gather at the temples, and there they used to talk to each other. They used to, there was a social connection between them. And through these classical dances, which was danced inside the temple premises, they were able to teach their kids not only about the proud history of them, but also about several other aspects of society. Then, when we study the history of dance, it started with the temple traditions, went to Mughal era, and then to the modern times. And with the change of everything around us, because we had seen a lot of Akrantas in our history. Different invaders had been there in our Indian history, and effect of every invader we find in our dance as well. But what is important is that we need to understand why dance, whether it is classical dance or folk dances of India, they are an integral part of all our ceremonies, whether it is religious ceremonies or social ceremonies. Deepavali, Holi, Navaratri, Shivratri, in every, and even the cutting of crops, there is dance because we are a civilization which is a happy civilization. We find bliss in everything, and the best way to be happy is through dance. Now, when we look at the most important part is when we do footwork, the acupressure points are pressed. That helps us in staying healthy. When we do different mudras, different gestures, different hand gestures, or even the body gestures, that all those who are following my channel, they know that I have shared several times with you how hand gestures or the mudras help us in staying healthy. Then different body movements and expressions. So it's a beautiful combination of physical and mental well-being. Now, the most important part of this video, whatever music we hear, even if there is such a song that somebody is just crossing you and singing that song which you don't like, but still, after listening to that song, that song stays and remains on your mind for some time. That remains on your subconscious mind, and somehow you also start singing that song, right? So, Bharatiya Nritya, Shastriya Nritya, it used to happen on Rudrashtakam, on Shivtandav Srot, on Hanuman Chalisa, which was a beautiful medium to not only remember these stotra and mantra, but also to understand them. So, if I say that classical dance is a beautiful way not only to restore your history, but also to give sanskars and to make your next generation aware of your historical wealth that you have. That would not be an exaggeration. Now, one more thing which we need to understand is that whatever character we play, if you're playing Sita, you become like Sita. If you're playing Krishna, you become like Krishna. If you're playing Hanuman, if you're playing Ram, you become like them. Same way, unfortunately, our kids are becoming ghosts these days. I have seen them several times. They are wearing ghost costumes. So, whatever you wear, whatever character you play, you become that. Now, we need to be careful what our children are becoming, what are they wearing, and what thoughts they are having in them. Now, last part of this video, which is very, very important, you would say, Acharya ji, what is the right age to start dancing? I would say any age. There is no right or wrong age. It's best if you can start teaching your kids from a very younger age. But recently, at one of my discourse, one of my student asked me, Acharya ji, okay, I'm 60, can I still start? I said, of course you can. There is no age to be happy, right? Whenever you wake up, that's a beautiful morning for you. So even at the age of 60, if you want to enjoy this bliss, you want to experience this bliss, what can be a better thing in life? But most important thing is you would say, okay, Acharya ji told about folk dance and she told about classical dance. let's start teaching our kids classical dance. But you should be very, very careful. Listen to this very carefully. Your dance, all that I told you in this episode, is applicable to the dance that makes you proud of your culture, that makes you proud of your existence. Your dance should be a symbol of pride of your Sanskriti, but not the symbol of your slavery, which we had faced in past several years. Even in classical dance, I see we are still compelling our kids to dance those things which were included in our original classical dances by the invaders. So we need to be very, very careful that that should be a medium of being proud of your civilization and your culture, and not it should not be a way to remember your slavery. First thing. Second, it should be able to make you physically fit, mentally calm and balanced, and spiritually elevated. If you are dancing on such music or such kind of dance which is like dar 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 dar, I'm not saying don't dance with speed. You must have seen my performances. I follow Jaipur Gharana, and that's like really, really fast we do. It's not about being fast, it's about, as I said, physically healthy, mentally peaceful and controlled, balanced, and emotionally elevated. But if you are dancing such a dance which is making you physically weak, mentally you feel more vices are there in you after dancing, and spiritually you feel more low. Instead of elevation, instead of promotion, it is some demotion is happening. That means you're not in the right hands and you're not learning correct. So parents need to be very, very careful that they are going to such a guru or such an institute where we are following all these things which I shared with you in this video. And you should always take your children, or you, even if you're learning yourself, it should keep you physically healthy, mentally balanced, and spiritually elevated, and socially you should be able to give something to society, and you should be proud of your civilization. If you like this video, share it with your loved ones. And if you want to know, there are several times, people say, why in Indian culture, in on Navratri, and you are doing dandiya, you are doing garba. What kind of civilization is this? Why are you doing dandiya? Why are you doing garba? There is a complete science. What is garba? What is dandiya? It's a beautiful spiritual practice, and there is a complete science behind it. If you want to know about that, you write to us, and I will try to come up with an episode on that. Till then, you stay healthy, you stay happy. I will be seeing you next Friday with another very special episode of Friday Facts with Acharya Pratishtha. And if you like this video, do not forget to share it with your loved ones. Stay healthy and happy. Love, light, prayers, and blessings for all of you.